Councorla, and I would like to compliment the Independent Technical Group for bringing this very topical issue to the House. I think it's too important a subject, Councorla, to play party politics with, and I want to say at the outset that I fully endorse their concern about this life and death issue, which calls at the doorstep of almost 10,000 people every single year in our small country. This is a frightening statistic because by its day-to-day extension to family members, it impacts directly on multiples of 10,000 souls. As the motion indicates, when added to those sufferers at various stages of recovery in the community or in care facilities, it possibly amounts to 50,000. Probably the biggest concern for those in this position is how they can access support to restore them to independent living. Councorla, I can talk about this subject of stroke with qualified experience. On a mild Friday evening in 2007, I know somebody very well who had such an experience. Following this attack, the CAT scan and other diagnostic service was closed for the weekend in Waterford Regional Hospital, and at that time, I have to add, it was a time of abundance in this country. It was a 5-day-week service available each day from 9 to 5. Therefore, the diagnostic process to determine if it was a stroke or not had to be deferred until after the weekend. Thankfully, despite these circumstances, that person, who happens to be myself, I am very grateful to the many dedicated people in care and medicine who made it possible for me to be here tonight. And I'd like to take this opportunity to say, in my ignorance, Councorla, that before I had this episode, I had to say that I felt that I thought that medicine was only about nurses and doctors, but I have to say it extends to OTs, speech therapy, and all those rehabilitation people who look after you when something like this happens. Because of this experience has had a lasting imprint on my mind, I am more interested in gaining as much information as possible to pass this on to others. It is a source of comfort to me that there is now a genuine national attempt being made to front-load investment in stroke prevention. We must give hope to people in distress. I am often depressed by the scale of negativity I sometimes hear in our national parliament. People, including thousands of stroke sufferers, want to be assured that the vast amount of resources we put into health services will address their disability. I am delighted to discover that since my experience in 2007, the number of stroke units in acute hospitals has risen from 4 to 18. Stroke units are a key element in the provision of acute care and early rehabilitation. I am also delighted to learn that by the end of June 2012, that's June this year, almost 94% of stroke patients will have access to stroke unit care. Added to this is the comfort of knowing that ambulances are now operated by fully trained staff in the safe provision of thrombolysis. As with many aspects of health generally, prevention is the real key to reducing the incidence of stroke. Although getting the message is often criticised as a waste of money that should be spent on curing, I firmly believe that promoting awareness is money very, very well spent.
1 minute remaining.
Like the proposers of this motion before us tonight, I too would encourage the Department of Health's policy framework for a healthier Ireland as a commendable vehicle to inform the public about stroke prevention. The framework policy aims to address the broad determinants of health and healthy inequalities through our health services, community and education settings. The review will address a number of key lifestyle issues, including smoking, alcohol and obesity, whether further action is required. Despite the significant tobacco control measures and the widespread knowledge and the harm caused by tobacco, smoking prevalence remains high, and there is scope for further progress if we are to achieve modest reductions in smoking initiation. I am aware that one of the reasons for drawing up this motion is also to focus attention to the economic cost of stroke. The proposers are rightly concerned that resources spent sensibly in one part of the health services can be used elsewhere in the care system. I again thank the independent group for taking the trouble to place this motion before us, and I give them my full support.
Thank you, Deputy.